The story unfolds on a deserted street in North Korea. A young girl walks alone along the curb as she is suddenly noticed by the children of influential officials. The girl likes the main one of them and they kidnap her. She comes to herself in an unfamiliar room, her whole body is bruised. From weakness she faints and then regains consciousness. When they get fed up with her, the gang leader Kim gets rid of him. With icy calmness, he kills her, leaving behind another bloody stain. North Korean detective Lee Dae-bom arrives on the scene. He is shocked by the brutality of what happened, but soon realizes that behind it is not just a killer, but a man who is patronized by powerful forces. Despite this, he tries to restore justice, but he fails. Soon he is removed from the case and demoted. After that, they fall silent. But 3 years later, it all starts again, now in South Korea. Now the South Korean police, led by Detective Choi Yedo, are trying to unravel a series of brutal murders. All the evidence points to Kim Kwon-il. He's a suspect, but the problem is that he's not just a criminal, but a VIP transported into the country by the National Intelligence Service. He can't understand why they're covering for him. But the detective has nothing to fear. When DNA results confirm his guilt, Choi's team prepares a special operation. They storm the suspect's hideout, but are confronted by niche agents. Tension builds by the minute. The police win a court case and issue an arrest warrant. Under interrogation, Kim feigns innocence using a brazenly contrived alibi and a dodgy lawyer. He mentions the eggplant farm with a chuckle to explain the DNA traces. But in that moment, they fully realize his involvement in the crime. After all, other than the investigators, no one knew about the eggplant farm. Determined to see the case through, Choi's team plunges into endless hours of analyzing surveillance footage. Several days of searching bear fruit, and the detective receives good news from his subordinates. They have found irrefutable evidence of his crime. But what will the system do? Will Kim be brought to justice or will he escape again, thanks to his VIP status? That's when the National Intelligence Service officers find Kim's gang members. They make an agreement with the police chief that he will answer for all the murders, but in return they must give them Kim. The police chief doesn't want to go against high-ranking people, so he is forced to agree. But this makes the detective furious. He wants only one thing: justice. He refuses to let Kim go, and he is suspended from the task force. In his home, he unexpectedly discovers a North Korean officer. It turns out to be the same officer who wanted to imprison Kim in North Korea. Because of Kim, he lost everything: his job and his loved ones. All this time he lived with only one hope: revenge. And now the moment has come. His father in North Korea has been arrested. Now no one will patronize him. They have the same goal, and they propose to work together. At this point, Niche learns that Kim is interested in the CIA. As Kim has very sensitive information, the CIA asks to give Kim to them, and they agree. Meanwhile, Kim, despite being in custody, continues to maintain his psychological control by manipulating everyone around him. At this point, further interrogation of Choi and his team reveals shocking facts. He discovers that Kim has been committing murders in Hong Kong related to international human trafficking. The murders he committed, including in Hong Kong, were part of a more complex scheme involving his family's connections and influence in North Korea. Choi decides to use this evidence to make sure Kim is guilty. The videotapes show his face, and now Choi is certain: this man must be punished. Pak finds him and tries to convince him to leave everything as it is, to hand Kim over to the CIA and not to engage in further struggle. And the detective decides to obey his superior. But during the meeting, an unexpected twist occurs. After Kim snatches a gun from one of the CIA agents, the situation takes a critical turn. In the blink of an eye, he kills one of the agents and panic grips the others. The CIA agents rush him to leave the scene, which infuriates Pak, and he rushes after them, preventing them from leaving. But that's when Officer Lee intervenes. He grabs Kim, throws him into his car and drives off in an unknown direction. Pak, with rage in his eyes, rushes in pursuit, but it's too late. Lee takes Kim to North Korea, hiding in the night. Aboard the boat, Lee learns a terrible fact. All these boats belong to Kim's men, his subordinates. Lee had no idea that Kim, being the son of a high-ranking official, was able to restore his power in North Korea. A sudden blow leads to Lee's death and his body is thrown into the sea, forever leaving hope for justice in the waters. Park sees Choi's helpless state and begins to wait for the right moment. 5 years pass. Pak receives long-awaited information from the CIA: Kim is alive and his whereabouts have been established. Pak decides to take matters into his own hands, unlike the CIA, which has so far failed to catch Kim. Kim's father is executed and his empire collapses. Pak travels to Hong Kong, where Kim is hiding under the protection of his subordinates. Armed with a pistol, Pak, determined to see it through, destroys the guards with lightning speed and makes his way to his target. He moves without regard for obstacles, ready to destroy anyone who gets in his way. When Pak finds Kim, the encounter is much more tense than he expected. He shoots Kim several times, savoring every moment of revenge. But his brutality doesn't end there. He interrogates Kim, forcing him to confess everything, and then fires the final fatal shot, sending him into the dark world. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and give the channel a like. See you soon.